What's up, guys? Welcome back to Work Harder Wednesday, 4th installment, talking about coasters, rubber coasters. Roll the intro. So today's installment is just about why I have rubber coasters in my golf bag and why I believe you should too, and how to use these to help improve your short game. These rubber coasters, I have a couple of them, as you'll notice. I mentioned them in my What's in the Bag. They're just Jägermeister promo coasters I got. They're about the size of a hole. And I use these to work on where I land my chips when I'm working on my chipping. And I'll place this little disc down, this little coaster down, and that's where I want to land the golf ball. Obviously, you land a little bit beside it, you land a little bit short of it, you land a little bit long of it, you're gonna see what it does. You're gonna see the result. When it comes to chipping, picking a spot to land is probably the best piece of advice any professional, any instructor could give you. A lot of people like to focus solely on the target, and you lose a bit of your creativity. If you're focusing on a spot on where to land the golf ball, you can visualize what the trajectory is like and what the release is like. And when you get to the higher levels of the game, you can start to play with your spin and control the spin depending on the height, depending on the green, depending on the grass, and all that fun stuff. But I like to practice with these because it really gives me instant feedback on if I'm landing that golf ball where I want to land it. And then when I get out onto the golf course, it's instilled a visualization in me that makes it really easy to pick a spot on the golf course to want to land the golf ball. I really embraced this technique this past season. I had kind of dabbled in and out of it over the years, but this past season I really embraced it, and I noticed a huge improvement in my chipping and consequently in my confidence when I'm chipping, because I can visualize where I want to land it. Coasters. I bet you never would have thought you would use a coaster when you practice. So I found some pretty comparable ones on Amazon. I've linked it below, 4 of them for $5. They're black, they're probably about the same size. I think they'd be an awesome addition to your golf bag. And with it coming into winter, this is still something you can do indoors. You can work on your chipping, you can place these in the basement on the carpet and try to land the golf ball on top of them and control it that way. Control the height, control the release. And like every Work Harder Wednesday has, the pro awesome advanced tip on how to use these coasters. Well, it's not necessarily about skill or pro level technique. This is something for the competitive players watching. When you're playing practice rounds, have some of these in your bag and you just throw them onto the green where you think a hole could be, and you chip and you putt to that. It's a great visual aid. It's a great way to practice. It's a great way to prepare. I especially can do that when I've played tournaments already on a golf course and I have old pin sheets or the old memories of the pins in my mind. I can put these down to where I anticipate or where pins were before, and I can work on putting and chipping to those hole locations and get a feel for what the putt does, what the break is, what the speed is. So that's the pro level tip. Nothing overly fancy. But guys, that's it for this week's Work Harder Wednesday. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Like I said, I've linked some coasters down below. I suggest you get them. They'd be really great for your golf game. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next week. Peace.